Hello, everybody, and welcome to another module in the Principles of Economics. In this module, we're kind of covering some classic economic topics of supply and demand. In this particular video, we're going to talk about markets and introduce markets, what they are, before talking about the assumptions of competitive markets. In the following videos in this module, we're going to discuss factors that affect supply and demand, so determinants of supply and demand and what shifts them around. Then we're going to bring supply and demand together for something called equilibrium, and then talk about how factors that affect supply and demand changing is going to change our equilibrium. We're going to finish off this module by talking about the algebra of supply and demand. So instead of a graphical representation, we can use equations of lines and solve for equilibrium. So as we've discussed before, markets bring buyers and sellers of a product together. They can be physical markets such as the famous Tokyo Fish Market or the flower auctions in the Netherlands, or they can be online marketplaces such as eBay or Amazon. Regardless of where they take place, markets simply bring buyers and sellers together. For now, we're going to assume that markets are competitive. That is, markets are going to be characterized by many buyers and many sellers, and each of these buyers and sellers has a negligible effect on price. In particular, we're going to make the following assumptions. One, all the goods are homogeneous, or all the goods are the same. There's no differences in qualities between one seller's product and another's. The second assumption is that there's many buyers and there's many sellers. And this means that they're all price takers, not price makers. It's going to be really important that we remember these assumptions as we go through this framework. So when you want to apply this framework to different applications, such as, let's say, the labor market, we have to think about whether these assumptions hold in those applications in the real world. If those assumptions are big assumptions for the real world application, then maybe our framework isn't going to be the best in predicting what's going to happen in these markets. So it's going to be really important that we understand these assumptions and we think about these assumptions when we're going to use this really simple framework of supply and demand in competitive markets right now.